I can't believe we're finally back for another unboxing. It'll be 2 years in June since I've done an unboxing video for any kind of coins or silver. So I'm really excited to get into this. Once again, this is going to be the unboxing for the P, D, and S rolls for the Patsy Takemoto Mink Women's Quarters program. So yeah, let's just take a look at the calendar real quick, and then we'll get into looking at the Patsy Takemoto Mink quarter. As we get ready to take a look at Patsy Takemoto Mink, I just wanted to real quickly glance at the calendar to show the dates that we have coming up for the rest of the Women's Quarters program that we are behind on. Today is an unboxing, of course, Patsy Takemoto Mink, and it is the second Women's Quarter issued in 2024, but I don't want to put that behind everything else we have on here because it's an unboxing. The quarter was just released last Thursday on March 28th, and it has just come in this week, and I wanted to get this video out so that it's current, and then we will jump back to the backlog of quarters that we have. Bessie Coleman, and then the rest of April will be with those quarters, jumping into May with Jovita Idar and Maria Tallchief, and that will complete the 2023 collection. And then on May 20th, Reverend Dr. Polly Murray, which was the first quarter in 2024, we will take a look at. And then on June 10th, hopefully, we will have the Dr. Mary Edwards Walker quarter. Traditionally, as they've released these coins in 2022 and 2023, the third coin in the series for that year has come out the week of June 7th. And so I'm hoping they do a very fast job, the Mint does, of getting these things shipped when they come out. So I'm hoping that by June 10th, that we will have the quarter, and on June 10th, we can do that video. If not, if for some reason the quarter isn't in, we will have something else on June 10th, and then the quarter will be June 17th. Also, I'd like to point out that on May 27th, we will reach the gap. May 20th, Dr. Reverend Polly Murray, we will be finished with the quarters that were behind, and so we have a week in there. And so we will do an unboxing of the $1 commemorative proof coin for Harriet Tubman. I have the $50 commemorative proof coin on back order. Hopefully it's in by May 27th, and we can do both of them. If not, there will be a part 2 or some sort of continuation of that video when we have the 50 cent, the $50 coin in. Anyhow, I just wanted to point out the calendar that we have, to catch up on these women's quarters. But let's do what we came here for, which was the Patsy Takemoto Mink look. Patsy Takemoto Mink was the first woman of color in Congress and a trailblazer for gender and racial equality, affordable child care, and environmental protection. She was a third-generation Japanese American. She was born in Maui, Hawaii, and overcame racial discrimination in mainland America. She returned to Hawaii for her BA from the University of Hawaii in 1948 and later earned a law degree from the University of Chicago in 1951. So let's talk about that for a minute. A third-generation Japanese America going to the mainland U.S. to try to go to college in the mid-1940s, towards the end or at the end or just after World War II. There was a lot of animosity towards Japanese Americans or anybody who even looked like they might be the lightest part Japanese. The crazy part about that is she was a third generation Japanese American. To me, that's nuts. It's not even like her parents were new to America, and although at the time Hawaii was not a state, were new to, her parents weren't even new to the territory, the area of Hawaii. So it's just crazy that she faced such discrimination. But that forced her to go back to Hawaii to get her bachelor's degree. And then she went to the University of Chicago for her law degree in 1951. Is when she graduated with her law degree. After being rejected by medical schools due to her gender and race, Mink turned to law, becoming the first Japanese-American woman to practice law in Hawaii. She entered politics in the mid-1950s, eventually serving in Hawaii's territorial legislature and state senate, and was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1964. In Congress, Mink co-authored Title IX transformative legislation that prohibits sex discrimination in education, significantly advances women's rights in schools and universities. Her advocacy spanned a range of issues, including support for low-income families and environmental protection. Mink's influential career in Congress lasted 24 years, impacting countless lives through her advocacy and legislation. Following her death in 2002, Title IX was renamed the Patsy T. Mink Equal Opportunity in Education Act, and it cemented her legacy in the fight for equality in education. So what Title IX does, going back to her being rejected from medical school because she was a female, the first thing that Title IX does is it prohibits any university or college from discriminating. Any university or college that receives any federal funding, it prevents them from discriminating on an applicant based on their sex. So no longer could law schools or medical schools or engineering schools tell someone your application is denied because you were a female. That's one of the first things Title IX does. It does other things, but that is the most significant. The other most significant thing it does, and the way that you've probably heard Title IX discussed before, is in athletics. What Title IX does is tells, once again, universities and colleges that receive any kind of federal funding that they must provide an equal opportunity for women in sports that they do for men, which means if you have a men's basketball team, you have to provide a women's basketball team or some other subsequent sport in the winter, since basketball is considered a winter sport. If you have a men's hockey team, you need to have either a women's hockey team or some subsequent sport that time of year for women. If you have a men's football team, you need to provide an opportunity for women during that time of year. If you have a men's baseball team, you need to have a women's softball team. That type of thing. That's what, if you offer scholarships for men's sports, you need to offer scholarships for women's sports. That's how Title IX sets up the advancement of women in the U.S. as far as colleges, education, and equal opportunity goes. And so that is our quick look at Patsy Takemoto Mink. Let's jump into looking at the illustration of her quarter before we take an actual look at the unboxing and the quarter itself. So here is the design of the reverse, the back, the tail side of the Patsy Takemoto Mink quarter. And I just think it's easier to look at these illustrations, these drawings, to see the key features than it is the coin because of the light reflection and the horrible time that I have photographing coins. I'm trying to get better. I really am. Hopefully one day I will overcome all my flaws when it comes to that. But anyhow, so the first thing I want to point out is the lei around her neck, which represents her home state of Hawaii. Of course, on the back of every coin, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. You see that she's holding the Title IX legislation in her hand. One of the things that I find interesting is now on the back of this quarter, instead of saying quarter dollar, which is what I believe every other quarter that we've ever looked at in existence has had on the back of it, this one says 25 cents. And so that's a little nice little change in the features. And then it depicts the south wing of the U.S. Capitol, which is the part of the Capitol building where the House of Representatives is located. And then the north wing is where the Senate is located. Once again, looking at the sculptor and the designer, John P. McGraw is the sculptor, and the designer is Beth Zakin. Now, I've never pointed this out on a quarter before, and I don't know why, or any kind of coin for that matter, and I don't know why I haven't, but I'm going to start now, which would be the black circles. If you look at the black circles, you can see that the sculptor and the designer both get to have their initials on the back of the coin. And I don't know why I've never pointed it out before. It's just sort of been there, and I've overlooked it. But it's something that I just think is cool. Since I've started pointing out the designer and the sculptor, let's point out their initials on the back of the coin also. Anyhow, that is the back of the Patsy Takemoto Mink quarter. I think it's time that we do what we all came here to see, and that is the unboxing. All right, let's take a look at what we have here. I just want to, not really announce, but I want to acknowledge that the Mint, the U.S. Mint, has changed the company that it uses to fulfill orders, and the warehouse is no longer in Memphis, Tennessee. It is somewhere around Dallas, Texas now. So let's see if that changes the way that the packaging goes. We all know that I always have a hard time opening these. So let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to take it off of the camera for a minute and get it open so that I don't look as dumb as I normally do. Oh no, it's coming open actually fairly easily. Okay. That's awesome. So we have the invoice, the paperwork. We will get rid of that. We have a bunch of bubble wrap on this side. And the roll box has actually changed. It's not as, I don't have an old one laying around. It's not as flat and thin as it was. It is a little bit thicker, a little bit smaller, probably just as difficult to get into. No, maybe not. Maybe not. There we go. Oh. Wow. Okay. So the packaging has changed. They used to come with little little trays inside of them. And now they no longer do. Let's see. This is the P. This is the D. And of course, this is the S roll. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm off. Let's take a look. Let's move the D and the S out of the way. And let's take a look. Hold on one second. Let me get the knife. Let's take a look at the Patsy Takemoto Mink quarter. Oh, what is going on with the camera? Okay, so after some fiddling around, what this boils down to is I am going to use the microscope from now on to take a closer look at these coins. It seems to be the only way that I can get the lighting and the focus right. Anyhow, this is the Patsy Takemoto Mink quarter. We saw the illustration, but now looking at the quarter, once again, E pluribus unum on the left-hand side, Patsy Takemoto Mink wearing a lei. We have the south wing of the U.S. Capitol, which is where the House of Representatives works. And then it says 25 cents on the right instead of $0.25. We will see that there are a couple of changes in the way they write that. I just think it's really cool that they, for this series, have decided they're going to change up the 25 cents, $0.25. Coming up I don't remember if it's Bessie Coleman or who, but it has 25 with the cent sign instead of the word cents. Equal opportunity in education. Once again, that is the Title IX legislation that she is holding in the quarter. And I think it's a really nice looking quarter. It's not one of my favorites. I think that maybe there's too much going on in the quarter. But I think it's a really nice looking quarter. Anyhow, so we have the rolls in, and usually when I do unboxings, when I open up the rolls, I do a quarter giveaway. So if anybody watching this video is interested in me just sending them a Patsy Takemoto Mink Philadelphia quarter, all you need to do is check the email address in the description down below. Send me an email with whatever address, name and address that you want me to send the quarter to. And the first, 5 or 10 people that email me, I will get a quarter in the mail for them. Anyhow, let's jump back to the desktop real quick before we end this video. And that completes the 2022 Women's Quarters collection. Once again, we had Maya Angelou, Dr. Sally Ride, Anna Mae Wong, Nina Otero Warren, and we concluded with Patsy Takemoto Mink. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Oh, one more thing. We're going to start doing the quarter giveaway. So again, what I used to do, what I did the first time through was I would do the unboxing, and then I would offer the first 5 or 10 people that emailed me with their mailing address, or doesn't even have to be their address, with whatever address they wanted a quarter sent to, and I would just send them the P version of whatever quarter we just unboxed. And we're going to do that again. So if anybody out there wants the P version of Patsy Takemoto Mink, the P version, the Philadelphia Mint version of Patsy Takemoto Mink, please just send me an email. The email address is listed in the comments down below. Give me a place to send it to, and I will get it out in the mail to you. Anyhow, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and I hope that everyone has a great day.